right here with the world's most famous DJ Yella. First of all, I want to say it's an honor, and I'm blessed to have you in our presence. And I want to thank you for taking the time, man, to talk to Radio Suerte 90.3 FM. We're a radio station out here in Orange County, and man, you're from the world's most dangerous group, DJ Yella. I'm Sancho Loco. I go by Sancho Loco on the radio. Mark Sanchez, along with my co-host Bugatti AP.
Mm-hmm, sir.
We have a ton of questions for you, but I want to start at the beginning. So I want to start just from where you started, and then lead up to the events that inspired the book. You, Dr. Dre, and Ice Cube, you guys missed an opportunity, because I'm the missing member of N.W.A. M.W.A. Mexicans with Attitude. I'm kidding, but my wife is the only one that has the attitude. Hey, I'm just really glad to have you here, to be honest with you. So I know you got a lot going on, and you took the time to come talk to us. And you know what? I don't know if you believe in 6 degrees of separation. Have you ever heard of that theory?
I've heard of it. I don't know what it is.
Okay, so 6 degrees of separation was, and I don't even know if I'm pronouncing his name right. In 1929, Frigyris Corinthi believed that if you had 6 friends and I had 6 friends, there's a possibility that somewhere there's a connection. And it's really weird how I found this out later, but me and you have some connections. Interestingly enough, when I was a kid, I used to rap. So, this is way before the SoundCloud days, way before, what's now.
Yeah.
And a guy who used to record me, his name was Ernie G. And Ernie G was under the label of Skanless. Or who was involved with Skanless?
I don't know.
Steve Yano.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Steve. Wow.
When I was a kid, I was recording with Ernie, and Steve was there. I met Steve, and along the way, I was doing songs and I did collaborations. And one of my collaborators was the legendary Cocaine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I did a song with Cocaine. But what I was going to ask you was, I did another interview when I was doing radio. Do you by any chance know Ron Jeremy?
I never met him.
You never met Ron Jeremy?
Yeah.
So I did an interview with Ron Jeremy. I thought you might have known him because of the,
I've known him, the business that I was in, but I never met him. He was before my time.
Yeah.
He was still hanging around when I was, because I did it for 15 years. But he did it way before I was even in it.
Oh yeah. And he's actually dealing with a lot of lawsuits right now because because of some of that stuff. But I also have another thing that might be interesting to you. Man. Who is that right there? Look at that outfit, man. Who was he? Who designed those outfits?
I can't remember who. Back then was the paisley, the Prince look. So
yeah,
you wanted to look sexy for the women. So that was our dress code. We was about the women. We weren't about nothing else.
I just want to start from the beginning, and me and AP got some questions for you, but. Is it true that you were in a marching band before you did any of this?
Yeah, I was in the band. 11th grade, I was in the band on the drums, and then in 12th grade, senior, I was a drum major.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
And I heard you didn't take any lessons.
Nah.
So instinctively,
especially playing the drum, I can really play the drum. I think maybe in junior high, early 7th grade, maybe, and I just got on the drums and I just played the drums.
Wow. So when you started playing drums, your brothers were around, right? Your brothers used to play.
Yeah, well, they was older, but they had a band. So I used to just sit in my room and listen to them play in the garage.
And you just naturally picked up.
Because I guess they naturally play drums too. And so I just got on the drums, played it with no problem. I can just hear it and play it.
What other instruments do you play?
That's it. I'm the only musician out there.
Interesting. Here's a question for you. Do you think the turntable, do you consider that an instrument?
I guess it would be.
Yeah, because
it's kind of like an instrument. An instrument. It's a tool, definitely.
It takes a level of coordination, right? Like it takes, and there's different.
It's not just scratching. It's more, because in the old days, before scratching was even invented, you had to rock the house. You got to know what to play. You got to feel the crowd. You got to talk on the radio, talk on the microphone. DJ don't talk on the mics anymore.
Right.
Rarely.
Well,
so it's an art, it's a skill.
Well, DJ Kool Herc was one of the first guys in New York, right? As far as bringing, or unless you have some other knowledge that I don't know about, but
Grandmaster Flash. I don't know where it started, but that's the first I heard was Flash. That was definitely the first.
Yeah, I mean, it's gotten a lot easier as time has gone by for kids to record, and they don't bring as much gear.
Oh yeah, I mean you can record songs on your phones, on your computers. You don't have to go to the big 24-track studios no more.
Right.
Nowadays, everybody do it at home.
I was telling
famous TikTok fame, all this stuff.
Yeah, I was telling somebody the other day that nowadays people really don't even get their stuff mastered. Like they're recording at home. I mean, back when I was recording, when I was a kid, you used to have to know somebody to record and then pay an engineer to master music.
We mastered ours when me and Dre mixed all our stuff. We mixed ours, and then we take ours to Bernie Grumman. That's where Michael Jackson and all the big groups go. And that's in Hollywood, and we had ours mastered. All it is just EQing what you mixed. That's all it is. But it's the sound, because them engineers, they don't play the music loud. They play it, and they can just hear, so they can hear everything, add a little bass, a little high, a little mid. But yeah, people don't know it. The art of mastering, that's only Dre, Bigger, the old school producers and stuff. That's the only ones that would do that now.
Now let's back it up a little bit. Let's go back to the high school days when you were used to hang out at Lonzo's place, right? The place that he was managing.
Well, that was after high school. That was after I graduated. Yeah, like and the next year.
You and Dre were buddies at that time.
No. I was around 2 years plus before Dre came out.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I was DJ. Lonzo had it was called the Wrecking Crew. He's a DJ. He had a club, young adult club, every Friday and Saturday. So I ended up being the DJ there. The DJ Unknown, he was there already, and I DJ'd for 2 years at least before Dre even came around.
Did you have a Technique 1200s, or did you start off with something else?
We started. I think we ended up getting 1200s early in the day. We ended up getting the 1200s in a Newmark mixer. We had the Newmark mixer with the knob.
Oh man.
So ours was, it was a little bit harder.
It wasn't even like a fader. It was like a knob.
Yeah, it was an actual knob to left or right.
That's awkward, man. I don't know if
That's what we mastered that.
Yeah, you were working with what you had.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah.
So you guys are DJing, and how did the World Class Wrecking Crew form?
Well, it was already started. It was a group of DJs. That's what we were, the Wrecking Crew.
I guess.
Then the music, when it came around, it was after Run DMC came to LA for the first time for a show. We had them at the club performing, and me and Drew sat on the side of the little stage and looked at their show. It was 10 minutes long. They dropped the mics, folded their hands, and that was their show. And me and Dre looked at each other and said, "That's it? That's how you make a song? How you make music?" And from that day on, that's when we started doing music.
Now you're coming from the hood. You're coming from Compton.
Yeah.
So how does a young, black man in Compton, on an allowance or working at the club, get the equipment and make the transition from DJ and get the equipment, whether it's an MPC, whether it's an SP1200?
Oh, that was before all that. But Lonzo would buy the equipment, as we go along. We started off with the SP12. That was the first
like 8 seconds sampling or something?
No, actually like 5 seconds. That was it.
You had to really be creative, right?
What we did was a lot of times we sampled a kick or the snare, something off, records or something. If we sampled a song, we speed it up 3 more seconds, Then we play it in the drum machine, slow it down. That's where you get that dirty, grimy sound from. Only in the SP, the 12 or the 1200. The other ones didn't do that. That's only, all our music was recorded on the SP12 or the 1200.
No kidding.
Wasn't even around.
So those drums you hear and Fuck the Police and Dope Man.
That's the SP1200. We had a rolling machine, an MC500, where we sync drum machines together. The real 808, and then we sync it to our SP1200. So that's how we get the 808 kick, the real sound of it. Not the sample. We get it off the actual machine. So we sync it all up, sync the keyboards up, all that. Yeah, that's how we get our stuff.
You know, the 808s came back with the trap music, man. They started using the 808s again. Yeah. I mean, I know music has changed drastically since then. But
but 808 was in a lot of songs. People really didn't listen. I'm talking about regular songs. You could hear, you could tell the clap, you could tell the hi-hat, you could tell the snare. It was either 808 or the Lynn drum.
Yeah.
The Lynn drum was in like all Prince songs and all that stuff. That was the Lynn drum.
What did
we never used the Lynn drum?
What did Two Live Crew use? Were they using 808s?
That had to be 808.
Yeah.
That was all 808.
Miami bass.
Yeah.
I know N.W.A. It's kind of transpired from the record. Dre was doing stuff on the side, right?
Yeah, I mean we both was doing, you know. He started when I had in the record crew, we didn't make no money, so I had to get a job for 3 months. That's when Dre did the Boys in the Hood.
Yeah, I heard you worked at a taco shop.
No, that was in 11th grade. That was in 11th. That was Taco Bell in 11th grade. The whole year, 11th grade. But when in the wrecking, towards the end of the wrecking crew days, I ended up becoming a valet for 3 months.
Oh, no kidding.
Oh, I hated it.
Where did you valet, if you don't mind us asking?
It was at the Four Seasons Hotel. It just opened in Beverly Hills.
Oh, okay.
Just opened. And I hated it because it was a pink shirt and a beige bow tie, beige pants. That wasn't me. I only did it for 3 months. That was it.
Question for you. Who were you the closest to, would you say?
Me and Dre. All the time. So me and Dre met first. So, you know, I didn't know Ren. I didn't know what. Even Cube came from the Wrecking Crew days too, because Cube stayed next 2 doors away from Dre's auntie's house. So they stayed, Dre's auntie and Cube, they stayed on the same street.
Okay. Interesting. N.W.A. Would you say it's comprised of Arabian Prince, DJ Yella, Dr. Dre, EazyE, Ice Cube, Ren? Those are the original members.
That's the original. Well, you gotta look at it how you look at it. When we did the Straight Outta Compton album, Arabian wasn't around.
Right.
He went back to being a solo artist. He was there on the early singles. And then we took the picture during them days. But that Straight Outta Compton picture was not the album cover at all.
Right.
That was not the album cover.
There's a weird, I mean, there's something that I find interesting, and I don't know if there's any truth to this, but there's a guy that's on the internet that said he was involved in N.W.A. by the name of Crazy D. Is that not true?
I stay out of grown folks' business because he said something bad about me one time on Facebook. Never responded. I'm like, okay, I ain't gonna throw you under the bus. I even put him in my book. I'm not trying to degrade nobody or nothing, but he was like our, the ones that carry the.
He was like the freshman on the basketball team.
Yes, thank you. Yeah. I ain't talking about nobody.
Right.
I even put his name in the book, but that's what he was. He was not a member. He never was. He got on a couple of songs, just for the little ad-lib part. And that's it.
Was he on that part? Who was that on the part that said, "Man, those peaches"?
Mr. Dope Man. That was him.
That was him.
Him and maybe another part. But then there was another guy later that was a driver for us. He started getting on the other stuff. But Crazy D was on very early parts, a couple early parts.
Okay, so I mean that kind of answers that. Now, here's another question. the Tom Tom Club released a song, Genius of Love, in 1982. And on the flip side of that album,
Mr. Yellow.
Mr. Yellow. Is that where your name comes from?
Beginning of it said Yella.
Yeah.
Looked at me and said, that's your name.
Who?
I said, okay. Well, thing cool about it, I can scratch my name. It was already made.
The acapella. Right. You remember George Clinton, N.W.A, Zap. Those are some of my favorite funk groups.
Yeah.
Who are some of your favorite funk groups?
That was Zap, George Clinton, Roger. You got Zap and Roger same people. I mean, you got so many. Rick James. You got so many. Sly Stone. You know, a bunch of stuff we used, but that 70s funk, you know, was it. Did
that kind of inspire your producing? Like a lot of your beats, you know, did they come from funk-driven songs?
Sometimes we listen to a song like, oh, okay, we like that. Then we make it over or something like that, or sample it or whatever. But it was up in that era, 70s funk and different stuff we used. We used quite a bit of different stuff from different music. So.
Right. You have any rock groups you like?
Stones was great. I mean, because back then in that era of the 70s when I grew up as a kid, all the music was the same. The radio station, it wasn't this, wasn't that, it wasn't hip hop, it wasn't none of that. All the music was on the same channel. So you hear a funk song, and you hear Rolling Stones, and you hear all them heavyweights back then. That's why I can listen. I can listen to any of the music.
That same radio station plays everything in the 70s.
Yeah.
I like that in the 90s, 2000s.
Yeah, not until like K-Day and stuff like that when they had a hip hop channel and stuff like that.
Yeah, I always tell my kids, like, I seen things go from record to tape to CD to MP3. And back in the days, I remember the word mixtape was because you would actually record on your big old boombox, your ghetto blaster. You record on tapes, and you just record a mixtape of whatever.
Mixtapes. We started doing mixtapes in California. Me and Dre through Steve Yano. But they was actually mixing, not guest people and all. No, it was actually like a DJ.
Right.
And we even made bootleg records, one-sided 12-inch.
Oh, no way.
Like 10-minute mixes. Yes. Scratch Party. I did all the Scratch Party. The New York Scratch Master, Dre did them. Yeah, we did like 5 or 6 different ones.
Yeah, Steve used to sell those at the Rhodium, right? The Rhodium. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Question for you. Where was your favorite place to perform? Would you say the place you had the best time where you loved to?
I think the tour. Anywhere on our 89 tour. Well, that was the only tour we did. Yeah. So anywhere on that tour, all the dates was fun. Because, you know, they all was sold out. Even the Detroit show was fun until we played that song.
So going to that, actually, that was one of my next questions. Did you guys really get detained after that tour when you guys ran out?
The movie made it look like this.
Hollywood, of course.
They ran us off the stage because there was undercover cops in the crowd, but they started throwing like M80s. Because the movie was 60 to 70% correct.
That's what I heard. Okay, this is my question to you. If the movie, because I saw another interview where you said it was 60. I think it was Vlad that you went on. And my question to you is, if that was 60, what did you say, 60, 40?
60 to 70% correct.
Okay. Is your book 100%?
Well, it's 100% my story.
Right.
I made the book not to show that, oh yeah, I started doing the mixtapes first. I started doing this. I didn't do it to do that. I just said as it went by.
Right.
Everything before the Wrecking Crew, with Dre, when I met Dre and all this, N.W.A, the breakup, me there with Eazy, and kept on going up to 2020. So it's 100% my story. I mean, This is just what happened. Inside the book, I never say I did this or I did. I always say we.
Right.
You know, this is what we started or this, but it's all my story. You know, that's the only story I know. But it's just how it is. It's just in order.
Going back to the time where you ran from the police because you sung "Fuck the Police" at a time where they didn't want you to sing that.
Well, before the tour, we had signed papers not to play the song at all through the whole tour. That's the only way we could get the buildings and then insurance and stuff. So we didn't play the song nowhere. But Detroit, I don't know why. Nobody knew about it. So we don't stay. And we had to part for, Cube's part, because we came out in 3 different sections. Me, Ren, and Dre came out, then we added Cube came out, and then E came out last. Right. But when Cube came out, he did his opening songs and all that. And then he looked at Dre and they played the song. I'm like, I'm looking around like,
you're looking for the exit.
And he didn't even get halfway through the verse.
No.
He didn't get halfway through before they start coming. It's so funny because we didn't get paid that night. I was upset. That was the only time that's the only time we ever performed.
It would suck if you had like some dress shoes on you were trying to run. I mean,
yeah. You're gonna slid all out.
There's another scenario in the movie where you guys do get haggled by the cops. Was that?
That happened
outside the studio?
A couple of times in front of the studio. Because Torrance, you don't hang out at night in Torrance. That's just the way it is.
Okay,
so what color you are?
Of course.
So that time at Joe Louis Stadium, that was how many years ago? About 30 years ago, would you say?
That'd be in 89, right?
Yeah, 89.
Okay.
So, 32 years.
Now think about this. The song is essentially a protest from police brutality. And that was around the time Rodney King was, going through his things.
Yeah, about 2 years before.
Yeah, Breonna Taylor since then, George Floyd since then, and countless others have been killed by the police. Do you believe in the same message, or do you think there's some good people in the police department and, those are just some bad apples?
I mean, we didn't create the song. The song was created before our time, from the 50s and 60s. That's been going on forever. Right. I've seen it. Even in my book, I say, the cops stopped me, told me to get in the car, drove me around, and never asked me a question. So we made a song. We just was bold enough to say what quite a few people wanted to say. You didn't get in the cop's face and point a finger. You didn't do that stuff back then. Nowadays they in front of them telling them about, But it's not all the cops. It's always just a few. Right. Always just a few. Just like in anything. There's always a few knuckleheads.
I guess that was my point. That was my point. So
we never said all the police, but it was just them ones that really treated you bad.
Well, you're gonna come out with a new song called "Fuck Some of the Police."
And it's it's so crazy. That song was made 30 plus years ago, and it still fit right in today.
Yeah.
That's just going on. It's just
music is timeless.
And I told this to somebody even before the George Floyd in the interview once. I said, this is not going to change until they give cops 100 years. Give them time.
Right.
If they don't give them time, they're going to keep doing it. Now, just think about it. They just started to get caught on camera. Just imagine stuff they don't get caught for.
All that stuff, absolutely.
Just like the Rodney King. Somebody just happened to be filming.
Yeah, and nowadays you got satellites. You got
you got so much. Everybody got a phone. They even record themselves. They body themselves.
Well, that's why all these people are getting caught with the gang injunctions and things of that nature. Yeah. I mean, crime had went down for some point in time, but it's so much easier to get caught if your cell phone is pinged on a cell phone tower or if you look up on the street, you see cameras everywhere.
Oh yeah.
So I was going back to. I wanted to ask you a few questions about Eazy or Eric. Were you pretty close to him?
Oh yeah. I mean, me and Dre was it up until he left. Once he left, we didn't talk for quite a few years. And I was just left there with E. I didn't pick to choose E. I should have left for Dre when he asked me, but I got caught in one of them situations. I didn't give an answer.
Yeah.
He left. So I had to stay with him, because there was nothing, he ain't ain't did nothing wrong with me.
Yeah.
And he had the look. He was from the streets, but he had a kind heart. I mean, a real heart. He loved children. He loved helping children, helping people. He was just a nice, kind, genuine person.
As a Latino, I feel like E was loved by our community because because he actually gave opportunities with the guys from Brownside and and he was in the thick of things. But which kind of brings up my next point, going back to the LA riots, when your songs were kind of heard all over the place. At that time, you saw in the hood unity. You saw blacks and browns together. You saw Bloods and Crips together. People just coming together. And I think Tupac said it best. It wouldn't be LA without Mexicans. Black love, brown pride on the sets again. And I believe, in power and unity, there's strength. What do you think?
That's what it is. I mean, like me, I don't care about color. I don't see color. I just see people. But black and brown been together for a long time. The old schooler, the older one, that's who they grew up with us. They know us.
Right.
It's the younger ones, and it's the jail system that separates.
Right. Yeah, you hit it on the nose.
It keeps it separate. They're making it like that.
Yeah.
If they ever get back together, come on now.
Yeah.
That's power.
And I just say that because before, when Compton, in its early stages, there was a lot of black, but then, brown moved in together and we they coexist with each other in Compton.
That's why you talk to the older guys. They come on, listen to the music. Even the young ones, listen to the music they play. What's wrong? You listening to the music, you can't like us, whatever. But the old schoolers, they love us. That's just.
Yeah, I always found irony in that. I always found irony in, you got the knuckleheads that kind of listen to oldies and funk, but then also you got the the knuckleheads on both sides that dress like each other, and it's you're gonna dress like each other, listen to the same music.
Yeah. But you can't associate with each other.
Yeah, but you can't associate with it.
But it's the jail system. That's what's separating all the races.
Right.
Keeping that going on, it's just...
Going back to, I know we won't mention any record labels or anything, but I saw in the movie that you were in the same room with Tupac at some times. Was that true?
Never. I met him one time. I was shooting movies at an apartment I had leased. And I went to the little food store next door, and he walked by the car. He said, "What up, Yella?" But this was when he had a high top fade still.
Oh yeah,
it was really.
He was more
of the death row.
Writer.
Oh yeah, that's the only time I ever met him.
Oh okay.
I got an uncle that walks around with 6 spears. They call him 6 Pac.
So going back to Eazy, were those parties what they seemed to be in the movie?
Yeah, they were. There was two. There was, let me see, 2 Wet n Wild parties, and then there was 1 pajama party. Oh yeah, they was
the real thing.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Since you being close to him at the end of his days, I mean, I don't want you to get into too much detail, but how was that? How did that affect you? Maybe. I mean, I know I've seen some stuff in the book that it says that pretty much got you away from the music. How did that affect you?
Well, once he died, and they buried him, and they put him in the ground, put the dirt on him, and I stood there. I said, "This is it. Music's over for me." Just that. I didn't never think about it. Just that's it. I never thought about it again until they came a year later. Somebody wanted me to do a solo album, put together E's last album and the N.W.A's first greatest hits album. I did all that at the same time, but I would just, me and him was, a lot of the deals was getting messed up because when you got all these record deals, label deals, you got to come back with albums from all the groups.
Right.
None of them was coming back. No JJ Fad, no Michelle A, no DLC. All these deals start getting messed up.
Do you think Jerry Hella had anything to do with any of that?
I'm gonna tell you, like I've been telling people in interviews, this is what I say about him. When you have nothing nice to say, you don't say nothing. But I'm gonna say this. He was our manager. That's cool. Okay, you're getting 20% of the group. That's cool.
Yeah.
But you're also taking 20% of the label. That ain't cool. So you're working both sides. So if I want to just say I did this album, I finished it, and I go to Jerry, about getting paid, he said, oh, go ask Eazy. Aren't you my manager? Right. But he's also Eazy's manager. So it's a conflict of interest that we knew nothing about. We was young.
Do you think
didn't know that?
Do you think being young and not being able to decipher all the legalities in the contracts, was that it? I mean, you signed a contract that you were obligated to.
Well, we didn't sign contracts. From all the first songs, the JJ Fad Gold album, Gold single, Eazy's double platinum album, Straight Outta Compton's double, triple platinum. We didn't have signed contracts here.
Yeah.
We didn't sign the contracts to the middle of the tour in '89. I mean, but we weren't doing stuff. Nowadays, you have to have lawyers and this and that, We just did stuff because that's the way we did it. We love the music. Eric's the label owner. Okay, we doing records. We wasn't worried about, hey man, where's my contract? Where's this? We didn't do that.
When you're in the moment, you're just focused on the music.
Yeah, that's all we did. Because if we didn't think about the music, we wouldn't be talking here today.
That's right.
If we had thought of, we're gonna go gold, we're gonna go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, we're gonna do this, a movie, that was never on our mind.
Now, does it bother you that, you at the time you gave up on music, Dre kind of had a lot of success, Q went on to do movies, and because you were so connected to Eazy, you just kind of wanted to give up. Do you wish that you hadn't to give up at some point?
No, because I didn't stop. I went to adult movies.
Oh, that's
I did adult movies for the next 15 years. 350 movies.
Yeah,
I was the
whole year.
I was the whole company.
That's a whole year recording.
That's a heavy load.
Yeah, because I went in it as producing the album. Okay, I got the cameras, I got the photography cameras, I edit, I do everything. Put the hip hop music in the music. I did everything. That's how I look at it. I didn't look at it as, oh girl. No, I looked at it as business. Making each movie I made was like an album. Just every month I'd have 4 or 5 albums a month.
Old movies. So there's a scene in the movie where you're watching it on the tour bus. The adult movie. Was that something that you were?
Nah, not on the bus.
Why they
all of us would have been watching in the studio.
Yeah, why they gotta do you dirty like that, man? 300-400 movies, that's a lot of movies. Looking back, what are the looking back, I heard that you were filming a movie when Eazy was in the hospital.
Yeah, I was at his house in Norwalk filming, and he was in the hospital for bronchitis. That's what he originally went in. I guess he had bronchitis. I never knew he had it. So I'm filming, and he called me, and he said, watch yourself. I said something, then he said it again, and that's it. But he didn't say, watch yourself from the girl. He just said, watch yourself. Oh, what? There?
Let's see. You there? Let's see.
I hear you.
Okay, there you are.
We're good.
Now, what
were you at his house in Norwalk, and he said, "Watch yourself." Twice.
Oh yeah. I was filming in Norwalk, and he called me and he said, watch yourself. I didn't know what he was talking about. And I'm like, and I said something, and then he said it again, watch yourself, but he never said, watch yourself from the girls. He just said, watch yourself, because he never told me what he had. He didn't want me to know. I never visited him in the hospital or nothing. Until like the movie, but the movie was like another time. The movie was wrong. My actor went in, but when I went in there, I didn't talk to him. He was already put in a coma. When they put you on a ventilator, they put you in a coma, so you won't fight the machine.
An induced coma.
Yeah, induced. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I never got to talk to him.
Tamika took over Ruthless, right?
She didn't take over. She had to go through the courts. She had to go through whatever she went through. I don't know. You know, when I did Eazy's last album, the courts came to me to do the album.
Wow.
Not her. She didn't have it yet. She didn't get it for, I don't know. I don't know how long they was in court. You know, I don't be into all that stuff. But yeah, the courts came to me. The trustee came to me to do the album. Because I had E's album, last album, that was worth millions of dollars. People would love to have it for ransom. And I'm gonna tell you something now. You guys mentioned earlier, the Mr. Manager, he called me up one day, and then I went to his house. And when I left his house, I'm like, I turned to my buddy, did he just try to get the album from me?
Oh man!
Because he was asking me where it was and this. I didn't say where it was. It was sitting in Audio Achievement. It was just sitting there. It sat there for a whole year. I didn't think nothing about that album. I never thought it would even come out again.
So is there music that EazyE has that hasn't been out yet that you?
One song that I made, it was a diss song, but it never got the lyrics. Never. I put the track together. We had a reggae guy from one of the movies back then. He did all the in the breaks and stuff, but the lyrics never got done. It was a diss song too.
Oh wow! Who was the diss to?
I can't say that. But that song it never got any lyrics.
There is
no other music laying around.
Would it be maybe Sugar Flight?
Nah.
All right, I'm not.
It was a diss, but I'm glad he didn't do the lyrics. I was over that.
So, in your opinion, who's the best dressed in the group?
Depends on how you look at it.
Sounds like Yella.
The E had the gangster look, and that's how he dressed. I didn't dress like that. I dressed regular. When we go take pictures, I have my clothes on the angle. Put them on, take the pictures, take my stuff off. I like regular dress.
What about that scene in the movie where E comes in the room and he wants everybody to wear black and you're the only one that...
But I always had... Think about this. We didn't wear black until the last album, maybe? Or maybe some of the videos. But you look at the Straight Outta Compton cover, there's all kind of different colors of clothes. I had a Angel shirt and a Laker jacket. So we wasn't matching at all.
All right, well, what are you doing nowadays? I see you're back on the DJ circuit.
Yeah, I've been DJing the past 4 years. I've been to 100 countries.
Holy smokes.
I mean, around Vietnam, Korea, Bali, Sri Lanka, Australia, all over the UK, Europe, China, Japan. I mean, everywhere. If you could think of a place, I've been.
That's awesome.
I even been to a country called Atlanta, Georgia. I've never heard of it. That's in Russia, where Russia broke up. So all these little countries. I'm like, Atlanta, Georgia.
So do you still talk to any of the members?
Yeah, I just sent Dre a book about a couple of weeks ago or something. But I talked to Cube a little while ago. Yeah, we not actually talk. We always text here and there because everybody's just doing their own thing.
Yeah. All right, throw me a bone, man. Throw me a bone here at the Sancho Loco show. Is there any plans for N.W.A. to reunite?
Well, you never know. I mean, me, Ren, and Cube did 10 shows, a couple of years ago. And then in the Coachella, we all four was on stage for the first time in 30 years. We did the second night of the Coachella. But I don't know. You never know.
Well, let's talk about the book. What can people
And that is the book.
Yeah, there it goes. That's the book right there.
Straight Outta Compton, My Untold Stories. I mean, I just start from 4 or 5 years old all the way up to 2020. And I just lay it out as my life went. Everything. There's more detail in that book than way more than the movie and all that stuff. But I'm not trying to make myself look good. I'm just telling the story. How I met E, this, that. I mean, so much. How me and Dre met up. Me and Dre was supposed to battle each other. But I was the club, I was the hot DJ in the club. He was a little young, skinny kid. wanted to battle me, but we never did. But that's how we became great friends, you know, like brothers, more than brothers.
Well, I know that the camaraderie that comes from DJing, I mean, digging through the crates, going record shopping, it's just something you can't explain. But can Dre scratch? Is he a good scratcher?
Oh yeah, he's quick. Yeah, he used to be quick. I mean, really quick. I mean,
he scratch. Do you scratch?
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm not trying to brag, but the first time I seen scratching really live was when we had Curtis Blow come to the club and do a show, and his brother was his DJ called Davey D. He taught me to scratch right there. This was in the early '80s.
Oh yeah, that's when they used to rap like this.
Yeah, and I hate to say it, but I was the first to scratch in LA.
Before Grandmaster, before anybody else?
Well, Flash and them did it, but they in New York.
Yeah, right. But they never came to LA. They never came to LA though. Scratch?
Nah, I've never seen that. Nah.
Okay. You got a question?
I was just gonna ask him, do you still listen to the music on the radio? I mean,
no. I like the old school music. Nothing wrong with the new music, but it ain't me. I mean, I like the late 80s, you know, the 90s, or the 70s funk, or the 70s, you know, that's just my era. I don't really listen to music. I've been, used to be in the studio so much.
Do you listen to your own music? Do you listen to your own music?
No.
Neither do I. I have like 30 songs. I don't listen to my own stuff. I'm the worst critique of my music.
Yeah, you're like, okay, we did it. Because we just did it. We didn't think it was going to go anywhere. We were just trying to make a couple of bucks.
Right.
Not this much or this or never. No, at that time, that's what we loved to do. We did it. And we did it the hard way. We had to learn everything we made. Nowadays, you just Google it.
Yeah.
And that and already recorded. No, we had to create all that stuff.
Well, any advice to any upcoming rappers or musicians that that are listening?
Oh yeah, I mean, you better get a lawyer. You better have that paperwork. There's so many ways to get paid off of one song. Publish it. There's two sides of publishing. Music, lyrics, writers, producers, artists. There's so many mechanicals, but I don't even think they do that anymore because they don't sell pieces no more.
Right, and a lot of the stuff that's done now is through streaming services. What are your thoughts on streaming services?
I mean, I think they get pennies or something like that.
Right, yeah, they're hardly getting anything.
So you have to be selling download millions and millions, it's a different world. You know what the problem is nowadays? It's too many artists.
Yeah.
Not enough fans. All the fans are artists now.
Nobody makes full albums. It's like you make a single, you're done.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. There ain't no more groups. No groups. Not no real groups. And it's too much competition. In our days, when you hear a song, you know what group it was.
Right.
Where it came from. East Coast, West Coast, this group, that group. Everybody was totally different. Nobody bid on each other. Nowadays, there's 10 people sound the same. And then everybody that's putting the stuff on their voice, everybody did it.
Yeah, T-Pain.
It's nothing different. I mean, this is what the new millennials want. So, that's what they like, but I don't know. I'm an old school. I like the old school.
I love the old school myself. So what does DJ Yella do now for fun?
Not too much. Just doing the book, doing a bunch of interviews, doing some meet and greets or book signings, but I'm just probably a movie or whatever, but I'm more relaxed now.
I heard you recently you got married not too long ago, and I heard that
I got saved.
You got saved
almost 9 years ago. Almost 9. After that was during me being homeless. I was homeless for 3.5 years. Not on the street homeless, but I was homeless.
You know what I find irony in the beginning, you were the one with the car, right?
Yeah.
And at the end, you were the one without the car.
Yep.
And
that was the first time I didn't have a car in 20 years, 30 years, or whatever, you know. It's just, I had to hit the bottom. And then when I hit the bottom, I had to go a little more. Because I had to go sleep on my sister's couch, and she stayed in the project. I never lived in the project.
Right.
Projects on Western and PCH. I'm just like, oh my God. But I had to hit the bottom. So, and the only way, when you hit the bottom, the only way is up. But exactly. So, God didn't allow me to let nobody help me. Not Q, not Dre, none of that. Dre bought me a car, but this is the crazy part. This was right before I went homeless. Dre gave me a little money to buy a new car. Pink slip in hand. But I could not afford the car. I had the pink slip. I had to get rid of that and get a used car so I could have a little bit of money left because I was about to be homeless. And it's just, but I had to hit the bottom so he could come get me because I wasn't looking for him. So he came and got me. And who can I thank? Nobody.
Well, you can thank God. Yeah.
That's the only person I can think. And and this is the crazy part. When I got saved, about a month later, he put DJ in my mind. I never wanted to DJ again, ever. We haven't DJed since '89 tour. So we just produced. We wasn't DJ, DJs was old. He put DJ in my mind. The movie Straight Outta Compton, Universal picked it up. After they were trying to get that movie made for 10 years. After I got saved, DJ popped in my mind. The movie came. It wasn't going to be made for another year, but it got picked up, and then I got married. He gave me my wife's name. He called me out the sky blue. I'm like, okay, you my wife. That's it.
Wow.
And I didn't have money to buy the new controllers and all this new. God made it where I went to the NAMM show just to look around, went to the Pioneer booth, talked to the guy, trying to find the price of it. The guy sent me one. I didn't even ask for it.
Wow, that's divine intervention right there.
Oh, yeah. It's all him. I learned in the past 9 years, if he tell you to do something, just do it. Don't complain. Don't. But why? I just go forward. He leaves. And I have not looked back in 9 years.
Now, looking at your life with all that you've been through, all the trials, all the tribulations, there's an old saying that goes, wealth is really kind of what you need for security. Are you wealthy right now?
No, I'm all right.
I don't mean financially.
Yeah.
I mean spiritually.
Oh, yeah. I mean, because I'm 100%. See, that's the difference between a lot of people. A lot of people get saved. They still want to do what they want to do. Me, I don't do what I want to do. What you want me to do, God? Whatever it is. If it's something I want, God, I don't ask. I don't pray for money. If I want a new car, I want this. Show me how to get it.
Yeah.
Show me what to do, and it just go. And it just, like I was saying, I'm 100%. Just like pimps, prostitutes, drug addicts, murderers, rapists, whatever. They're 100% at what they do. Seem crazy to us, because we thinking in the flesh, we thinking humanly. But to God, he loves 100%. Just like you guys doing this right now. You're 100% at what you're doing.
Right.
That's what God loves. 100%. I'm going for God 100%. Pass his word around.
Your testimony was actually pretty. I saw that. I saw it on YouTube. Your testimony.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think you should actually consider.
Oh, yeah. I ain't told you what I'm doing. You asked me what I'm doing nowadays, but I ain't told you where I'm going.
Yeah.
I'm going to be a preacher.
Yeah. And you know what? And watching that video, it just comes so natural, man. To me, it just flowed. And that's kind of where I got the thought, and I goes, I better mention that to him because you did a pretty good job at that.
Yeah, yeah. I know my pastor keep telling me because I got a pastor that sees. I mean, that just can blow your mind. Whew. He already told me I was gonna be a preacher years ago. And I'm like, I ain't trying to, but now I'm a deacon in the church. But this is all I know now.
Now, what area do you call home? Do you still stay in Los Angeles County?
No. I'm in Riverside.
Oh, okay. All
Yeah.
right.
I never, once I moved from Compton, when me and Dre moved back in '89, I never went back to Compton. I go by there, but
Yeah.
yeah, my focus is forward.
You ever come out to Orange County?
Sometimes. Oh, yeah.
There's a lot
I
of
did a iHeartRadio interview somewhere off of Beach Boulevard, but I don't think that's more Anaheim.
Yeah.
I just want to thank you for taking the time to do this for us.
Thank you so
And
much.
you have any final messages for everybody out there?
Go pick up the book. It's Straight Outta Compton My Untold Stories on Amazon. Or if a person want an autographed copy, go to my website, DJYella of N.W.A.com. But I didn't make the book for money.
Right.
I made the book to show how good God is. A sinner all my life, and he came and got me, and I'm going forward. So I'm giving him the glory. That's what the book is for.
That is
God
awesome.
gave me the title, told me what to write, everything.
Can I get you to say one thing? This is DJ Yella, and you're listening to the Sancho Loco Show.
Yo, what's up? This is DJ Yella, coming straight out of Compton, and you listen to the Sancho Loco Show. You know what I'm saying?